710 ESPN Seattle presents
The Calabro Show warm-up, powered by the law offices of Heidi Hunt.
Are you rolling, Brady?
Uh-huh.
Welcome to the warm-up. Kevin Calabro and Jim Moore here on 710 ESPN Seattle, 3 to 7 o'clock Monday through Friday. On Friday, we had more hits than any other show that we have ever done in the history of the warm-up. I'm lying, of course, because we had Art Oh Boy Oberto sitting in for you. We actually did a...
He was over in my spot.
Yeah.
Have you ever met him? He's cool.
I've never met Art.
He's a great guy. My hydro time, he was always out there at the hydro pits. Really enjoyed him.
Anyway, Art sat in. He was very good.
Was he?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
He picked Stanford to roll the Cougs on Saturday, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was right on a couple of counts.
That didn't turn out so well.
Jim had some interesting things to say about the Huskies. We've got that for you next. Welcome back. Jim Moore, the go-to guy on 710 ESPN Seattle, had some very interesting comments about the Huskies, who have been ranked number 25 in the country by the Associated Press and by the BCS poll as well. They made the top 25. Yes, they did. How about that?
Yeah, I was pretty excited about that.
Were you?
Oh, God, it just was, I woke up this morning, saw Bob Condotta's story, and I thought, yeah, the Huskies broke through. What are they? They're number 22 in one poll, number 24 in the other?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, Brady called me or sent me a text and said, hey, I really need a column for tomorrow. And so I said, okay. So I wrote one up.
Did you?
Basically saying that I didn't think the Huskies deserved to be in the top 25. So
that's because
just based on who they played. Is really Eastern Washington. You want to go down the list real quick? We can do it on the show.
Right. Hawaii.
Eastern Washington. They went on to lose. They went on to lose to the South Dakota Coyotes.
They're sub 500.
Washington.
Sub 500 right now.
And then who was the next? They played Hawaii, right?
Hawaii.
Hawaii went on to lose to UNLV, which was that team the Cougars beat up pretty badly.
Yeah.
Who was next
Cal.
on the list? Cal. That Cal team that everybody saw Thursday night against SC. Boy, that was a juggernaut, wasn't it?
Kind of rough.
Yeah. And what was the next one? Oh, they lost to Nebraska.
Lost to Nebraska.
That was a good loss. That was a good loss.
That was a winnable game.
Utah, I think, was a good win, too. Fairly good win. It was on the road.
They were uneven in the first half, but the second half they clearly were the better team. Price was sensational in the second half. Yeah.
But I'll give them that.
On the road, yeah.
But Utah is the best team that they've beaten, and they were number 52 in the BCS rankings, which just came out Sunday.
Okay.
And then Colorado. Everybody knows Colorado's horrible, right?
Right.
I mean, they were 107th in that BCS deal.
Okay.
So
Who is Stanford beaten, by the way? Ranked 7th in the poll.
I didn't check.
Nobody.
I didn't check.
Who has Oregon beaten, by the way?
I didn't look at Oregon.
Nobody.
No. What are you smiling about?
So there are flaws in the system, no question about it.
I mean, maybe flaws in my reporting.
And in Oregon and
Perhaps.
Stanford, you're talking about two top 10 teams. You ain't talking about a team that's 22 and 25. I got nothing. I really have no problem with them being ranked in the top 25 Washington. Now with Keith Price got 21 touchdown passes. That's the other thing. You get a little irritated about Price being mentioned in the Heisman balloting as well?
Yeah, I just kind of got a kick out of it.
21 TDs,
I think he
second
deserves
in
to
the
be there.
nation?
He deserves to be there.
Wow. Okay. Well, I do too.
He's
Absolutely.
a better college quarterback, is he not, than Jake Locker? I mean, Jake's probably still the better pro prospect. I think everybody would agree to that. But, when is Keith Price going to close that gap between being good college quarterback or better than Jake at Washington and maybe being
a next level guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. What is
Do
he?
you like him as a next level guy right now?
I think he's awfully slight.
Yeah.
Slightly built.
Not real tall.
Oh boy, I love his. What is he? 6'1" maybe. What's he listed at? 6'1".
He's listed at 6'1", but I've stood next to him.
Yeah.
He's maybe 6'1".
So I think a slight build works against him a little bit. But boy,
and his arm strength isn't as good as Locker's, is it? Can he throw the 50-yard ball?
He
threw that long one to Polk.
He rips the ball
against
down
Cal.
the field. He rips it down.
I'm not ripping the kid because I love him. I do.
And he's very accurate, and he works well within that. But, the thing I would say about that, quite clearly, is they got a better offensive line, and they got more weapons. He threw to 4 different guys for touchdown passes this past weekend. 6 different guys scored for the Washington Huskies. So they got a variety of weapons. They beat you on the ground. They beat you through the air. They beat you intermediary with the tight end. And that big offensive line, they get better every week. So, yeah, I think I think he's just got a better team overall. Right?
No, they're loaded. I think they can hang around with Stanford for a while. They could maybe even beat them. I mean, 20-point underdog. Stanford, it's so weird. You watch them, which I did over in Pullman, and they're a really good team, but they don't really do anything that wows you. They're just so good in every single
They throw three
area.
tight ends out there. That's pretty unusual, I think.
Yeah, they just
Simultaneously.
methodically just kill you.
Yeah. What about Chris Owusu? Is he going to come back and play? He got his bell rung.
Yeah,
Locker's cousin put a lick on him. What's the kid's name?
Chris Owusu or Casey Locker?
The kid that hit him.
Casey Locker.
Woo! He put a... Oh.
At that point in the game,
Crushed
I
him.
thought, wow, the Cougs are making a statement that they're here for the rest of the day. And
I think it just woke Stanford up, to be honest with you.
didn't turn out too
Yeah.
well.
And we,
Stanford coach was upset, too. Did it look like
Shaw?
Was it a clean hit?
I
I saw it, but I couldn't tell if it was...
It looked like a shoulder high. I thought it was a clean hit.
Yeah.
It was just a big time hit.
Owusu was down for a long
Oh,
time.
he was down for that. Well, Fleener made sure he stayed down, his teammate. Fleener, by the way, is terrific, and he didn't really get it going over the weekend.
Yeah, those guys, I mean...
There was the other guy, the 6'7", Brady, 6'8".
Ertz. Was it
He's the
Ertz?
fast one, right?
Totally. Well, Fleener, I guess, is the
Toilolo?
fastest. Fleener's the quickest of the group.
They got those three tight ends.
Yeah.
And they're big enough to block you, and they're fast enough to go by you downfield.
Oh, they blow by this cornerback.
So it's I heard somebody talking today. It's hard to determine when Stanford's going to run the ball or throw it because you got tight ends in there all
Everywhere,
the
all
time,
the
suggesting on most teams that you'd be running the ball, but not with Stanford.
No. And oh, by the way, the Taylor kid. Oh, he's a durable. Is it Taylor? Durable, tough.
Oh, the running back.
Yeah, he puts a
Stephon Taylor.
load. Yeah. So be a good game for both teams. Stanford needs to prove they can beat one of these top 25 teams because they haven't beaten anybody yet. And Washington, obviously, on the road. I think they're playing with house money. What the heck? They can be loose. Maybe register an upset. That's it for the warm-up. We've got it for you at 3 o'clock. Join us, please.